Another episode of The Insights, and I am your host, Amber, and angihambi ngedwa as always, ngiphethe Xolani Khumalo, also known as UX. Today, still X ongasoveki.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking your time just to chill with us, so we can get to know you and everybody else to get to know you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, without wasting any time, we just get straight to it. So, as we were doing our research,
right.
we stumbled to where now you are starting to become a radio in profession,
Right.
So what really made you choose radio in particular, since we know there are a lot of industries out there, why radio?
Well, I love radio. First and foremost, is the music. Because music, I don't even have the words for it, but music, it heals a lot,
Yeah.
And with radio, it's always music that is being played, And in radio, that's where you also get the new music that is being released, all those types of things, So the second thing, it was, I love talking to people as well, getting to know what the other people know and what I can learn from them as well, Because, in radio, you can come up with a topic on air, then you get the callers to phone in.
Yeah.
And you get those interactions from there, So you end up picking your listeners' brains as well.
Yeah.
With that, you also end up learning as well. So, and also, it's also informative radio.
Yeah.
You radio, everything that's new usually comes from radio. Whether your politicians have done something,
Radio.
it's radio or it's television, But with radio, it's always kind of like instant, because you're also able to connect with your listeners from there and there, the listeners themselves, they end up feeling like they know you as a person, whereas they've never even seen you in other cases, but they only recognize the voice, what you usually talk about, At the end, you end up building a good relationship with your listeners, and even though it's not only entertaining, it's also informative and educative as well.
Yeah.
So that's what made me love radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know growing up, we always had this whole idea of being something else.
True.
I know you've started there. So
Yes.
what made you turn into radio, and what was it before radio?
Okay. Well, when I was growing up, in my head, I was going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
That I can tell you, because as we are growing up, that in black culture, when you are growing up, you're usually told that there are particular professions that you must look for or go to, like doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, police officers.
Yeah.
So then, as I was growing up, that's what I had mentally, myself. But as you grow up, life always throws you a curveball.
Yeah. Definitely.
Always, So as I was growing up, I also ended up getting exposed to other things as well. Also, the subjects that I was doing back then, they didn't allow me to go and pursue medicine,
Yeah.
So when I finished my matric, I ended up doing civil engineering.
Oh, yeah.
And I spent about 4 years studies, and then I only though started working in the engineering field. It was in 2014, because usually with engineering, they want the experience first, because it's a lot of money that goes on engineering stuff. So I couldn't get a job at that time. I had to find another ways to also join the queue on the life stuff, So from there, I only started in the engineering field in 2014.
Yeah.
Up until 2019, that's when I stopped. Then I came here to do my media lessons. Because from when I was working, I was also saving money, As I was working and traveling a lot, I would listen to radio. That's when I ended up falling in love with radio. From there, I saved money. Because this thing is boring engineering now. I always do the same thing, each and every place that I go to, I do the same thing.
Like a
Even though I travel a lot,
Yeah.
but doing the same thing, it gets you bored.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Whereas with radio, there's always new things that are coming up. You know.
Definitely.
So that's why I was like, okay, let me save some money from there. I'm gonna go into media. As I'm studying right now, I'm paying for myself and all of those things with the money that I was saving back then.
Yeah.
You know, that's what drove me into leaving engineering, coming into the media world.
Yeah, smart
You know.
move. Yeah.
You have to try and think for yourself.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I've learned about life. You know that, when you want something, it's only you who can make that change, or it's only you who can take yourself to be in the position where you want to be.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, in order for me to be able to go and do media, let me save money. That's what I did.
It's like I save money. Save money. And so a person who's sitting at home, probably like, okay, most of abantu, they only know good to radio, it's all about talking, but they don't know good to this something behind you actually sitting in front of a desk and doing your thing, speaking on the mic to connect to people. Like you have to know something to actually do that, and there's a whole team behind that.
True.
How is it very important to you to make a qualification to whatever that you are doing right now?
It's very important, ma, because you can listen to radio and hear a radio broadcaster saying things or doing things, Then you sit and question yourself, why is he doing this, like station IDs, You find a broadcaster mentioning a station ID in every 10, 15 minutes, Then you wouldn't understand. But if you go and study and have that qualification, that will help you make understand on why is he doing what is he doing. With the qualification, it will also open your mind in knowing more about radio. Not that it's just radio, you sit and talk and play music. You see? Whereas akuhambi kanjalo,
No.
Kuningi okwenzakala behind the scenes. You've got a lot of hardworking guys doing whatever they have to do in order for the broadcasters to be where they are, give us the content that they give. There are people who do that, So it's good to have a qualification. It will help you to open your mind and know more than what you see or what you think you know. Because there are a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes.
There's so much work being put in to
True.
Actually give people whatever
show.
they think. Yes, like
Exactly.
a whole show.
Exactly.
No, sitting meetings, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Daily.
Yes. Also, now good to know it has been we should
Exactly.
do it because you're not only gonna sit there and just broadcast. Now you're giving out your ideas.
Yes. All your thoughts.
Yes.
Exactly.
This
could come up.
Yes.
Exactly.
And talking about education.
Right.
The education world and the real world. What we're studying and what is out there. Do you think it works hand in hand? Like Gasiza isn't this is Funda and isn't this is face out there, which is totally different to what we're studying?
I'll say yes and no. Yes, because the things that you learn in campus, school, or whatever, or wherever, it's usually the basics of the things that you will find when you reach where you want to be or where you want to go, And no, in a sense that they don't teach us or tell us challenging things that you will find on the other side, because you could arrive on the field and find out that it's a whole different environment.
Definitely.
With the people that you're working with, because sabantu asifani. Kunabantu abaneyinhliziyo ezimbi nje la emnyama. Kunabantu abanomona, So nothing prepares you on those types of things, Those things you end up learning once you arrive on the field.
Yeah.
So that's where my no lies at, you know. So yes and no. But what I always tell myself is that when you're studying or learning, yes, obviously open your mind so you can grasp all the information that you're getting, put it and lock it in your brain so that you know. Then also be aware that immediately when you leave your campus, going in the field of work, again, make sure that you exactly make sure that you absorb information because there's a whole lot of new things that you will learn from there.
Yeah.
It will never be the same. Seriously, that's when you're gonna end up starting to learn more when you're in the field itself. You know, so be always open-minded at all times. That's how I see it. Yeah.
And then you touched on music on our first question.
Right.
And we did our research.
Yeah.
And so yay. Old school.
Hey.
Hip-hop.
Yeah,
and
it is what it is,
how
man.
driven you are. So does the music play the part, hip-hop music, old school, does it play the part in making you the person that you are today, like being driven, being focused, and knowing what you actually want out of life?
Yes, it did, and it does. Because, like I mentioned earlier, that music does a whole lot of things in a person's life. You know, it heals you when you're broken. You know, it cheers you up when you're sad. You know, in other cases. So, with hip hop, what made me fall in love with it was that the things that I was listening to at that time, I could relate to them.
Yeah.
You know? And with me relating to them, I also observe those people who are releasing those types of music, observe them. It's okay. Then they show you where ends are in, you know? And only to find that, yes, some of them are and some aren't, you know? So, with the hip-hop itself, it made me realize it's okay. In life, you have to push.
Yeah.
With you pushing, you'll end up getting what you want. You know, it all goes back to you finding yourself, knowing what you want, and making sure that you take that first step to get where you want to go.
Yes.
Because the most important thing is you taking that first step.
Yeah.
If you don't take the first step, you won't float there.
No.
You know? So that what helped me or also helps me in being who I am today. And going where I'm going in life, you know, because there are a lot of songs that I can tell you now that when I listen to, it makes me realize that, no, man, I can be someone. I can be something, you know.
Yeah.
That's what drives me. Music, it helps a lot.
It helps a lot.
Yes, true.
You can see, guys, he doesn't only just listen to music for the sake of listening to music or dancing to the music. He also
learn
from music.
Exactly.
You know? Find something that you can relate to.
Exactly.
Meaningful songs, meaningful music, meaningful genres, you know. So, guys.
It's a lot, man.
It is a lot. It is a
music, it goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
Because we, even ourselves, we grew up, music was already there.
Yeah.
You know, even right now, it's like that. So it shows that music, it changes people's lives.
Yeah.
It only depends on how you look at it yourself as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, for a person who wants to know Xolani, Khumalo, X, on all social media platforms.
Well, Facebook, Xolani Khumalo. J. You can get Aphiwe. Then on Instagram, I'm X_the Myaka, same as on Twitter account. Yes, those are my accounts that I have.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, you know. It's
you love old school music, but
always, mama.
There should be a song. You want to get down. It can't be
right. In the hip hop industry or in the hip hop genre?
In any genre.
Okay, with hip hop, it's still not in 20 featuring KON Kulichana Mshanam.
The OGs.
Yeah. And for house music, at the moment, I love Da Capo's album Genesis.
Woo.
Every time I listen to that album, I just feel blessed.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a hip hop fan, but when it comes to Da Capo,
Hayi
ngiyakutshela angazi ngize ngiyibuza ukuthi when he's doing his projects,
yeah.
what goes in his mind?
You
know, where is he?
Yeah.
You know, because the music that he releases, I'm telling you, and I know it's not only me who feels about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, you know. So that's what I'm listening to at the moment.
From me, Amber, without wasting any time, ngobisikhathi sesiyashaya yonke into siyaphela. Me, Amber, see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Thank you so much. Let's just hit you up, hook it up with Ustilo Magolite.
No, 20. Yeah,